And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mind of James. I am your host, James. Today we have a special guest recommended by Scottie G at the Just Be with Scottie G podcast. Shouts out to you, Scottie G. My guest today is another Texan, J-Kline, baby. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, James? Grateful to be here, glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, dude. You were very well recommended by Scotty and had a good story, and I'm interested all about it. Here at the Mind of James, we look for that drive and that attitude to make the best of your life. So I am interested in your story. So tell me where it started at the beginning, and we'll just go from there.
Yes, I started off, I'm born and raised in a place called Battle Creek, Michigan, which is located in the Midwest, obviously. Um, it's known for cereal, so cereal was kind of like our main economy. That's where like it was founded and created, and
Mm-hmm.
Kellogg's and Post Cereal was all headquartered there. So that's
So
kind of what my,
you're from Michigan originally.
yes, sir.
Okay, how did you get to Texas then?
So I got to Texas because a lot of my family started to move down here. My oldest
Okay,
brother had gotten some employment down here and then
okay,
started a family down here. And
okay,
then mom wanted to be closer to my brother and his wife and kids.
okay.
And then plus, Michigan, if you know anything about, you know, the Midwest, at least at that time, supposedly it's getting better, but the
It was a
economy
little
just was
rough.
it's
It was a
rough
little
and
rough.
it's the economy isn't the greatest
Mm-hmm.
and plus a lot of my history which we'll dive into
Mm-hmm.
was going on. That's where it started at and developed.
Okay, so back to Michigan. You grew up in Michigan with Kellogg's. Okay.
Yeah,
Could,
yeah. And so growing up there, that's kind of where my journey began. And I share that that Kellogg's bit because a lot of the places in the Midwest, for those that know, a lot of those towns and cities are kind of centered and functioned around one major industry, or and that
mm-hmm.
kind of like that industry powers the city's economy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we got
Absolutely.
you got steel with like Gary, Indiana. You got car part factories in Detroit and Flint and Cleveland and Youngstown and places
Mm-hmm.
like that. Mine was cereal. And so that industries over time started to change. Jobs started to get lost, or, they shifted production costs to other places. And, with that, the city, when your main source of income goes away, especially as a city as a whole, it all kind of begins to crumble
Mm-hmm.
and fall apart. And
Mm-hmm.
when those things go away, poverty, crime,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, and
Detroit.
yeah. Although Detroit is making a comeback though.
They are. They are. They very well are. And God bless them, because like RoboCop was a good movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's been some good gems about Detroit,
Yeah.
in the film world. And so, I grew up with both of my parents. They struggled with addiction.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was an alcoholic. She was fortunate enough to find sobriety in 1988, 89.
Good years. Good years.
Yep, yep. Then I was born in 91. And my dad uh, was on the other side. He was in addiction and he kind of pretty much stayed in active addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't really too much involved in my life. He was either in and out of prison or jail,
Mm-hmm.
in and out of addiction. Had some periods of sobriety, but a large part of his, he was kind of absent for a large part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just my mom trying to raise me and my older brother, and uh, also her trying to recreate her life and find a new way to live.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of stress and pressure on her, but she made through it and she did her best to provide for my brother and I as best she could. And so I didn't grow up around drugs and alcohol. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that was never that was never a part of my life. That was never anything that I would thought would be a part of my story.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of my life it wasn't until like I hit about my my junior year of high school.
It's always high school.
Yeah, yeah. And relatively speaking, like I kind of did start pretty late. I mean, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
peers I went to school with, and they were starting like sophomore year. I started around end of my junior year,
Mm-hmm.
because I had
Was it just like drinking parties or
yeah,
everybody smoking weed? You
that's
know?
that's exactly what it was. Just
Okay.
innocent high school parties.
Mm-hmm.
Drink some vodka, smoke some weed. Uh, and that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Innocent, this is what we're supposed to do type of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're just high school kids. We're just trying to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It's innocent and it's going to be fun. And that's it. Uh, the only thing with me is when the party stopped, I wanted it to continue going.
Yep. I feel you on that one. Yep.
And I didn't want those nights or moments to end. And so I kind of like clung to them. Because even as a young kid, like I always struggled with like these internal feelings. I was always like a very anxious kid, a constant overthinker, um, riddled with anxiety, just and worry, and just all these feelings of just like angst ever since I was in like first grade, and like they really got magnified, especially in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you're now becoming an adult, you're on that path to adulthood, and it's like, what do you do with your life? What's next? And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have that. I wanted to just have fun. I wanted to enjoy these moments, and I wanted to live a party life, and I relished in that, and so I really just kind of clung on to that and didn't want it to go away. And so I kind of sought those environments, however I could, wherever I could. So sometimes, it started to develop beyond just my high school classmates or parties when the parents go out of town. Now I'm kind of gravitate towards other environments to where I can find that maybe with not so good people,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe not the best places to be at,
Mm-hmm.
but if
Mm-hmm.
that's where it was, then that's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
And for me, drinking wasn't really my thing at the time. I was cool with just smoking weed, and
Yeah. Yeah. Feel you on
and
that one too.
that was good. That was enough for me. And
Yeah.
then it was like my senior year is when things really started to really change, and the experimentation started to go past just the weed, and um, I started, you know, experimenting with pills, pharmaceutical drugs, like
Okay. Okay.
Xanax and pain pills, and the pain pills. Once I started to get involved with those, that's when like the love and obsession for substances outside of weed really started to develop.
Yeah. Because
And
did it feel like it just took you away from whatever was going on in your life? Like,
it
I'm happy here, you know?
it made everything just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will say like alcohol does that for them. Alcohol didn't really do that for me, but the pain pills did. And like I found something for once that like quieted my brain, that slowed down my heart so I could breathe,
Mm-hmm.
um, that cured all my worries. I,
This is what the colors look like on the trees? Like, this is
man,
nice. Like,
man, and that's exactly what it was. And
yep.
I thought I had found like the perfect remedy to now exist in this world,
Mm-hmm.
that I for such a long time that I felt out of place of.
Mm-hmm.
And now I could find something that I could be calm and be confident and have kind of really no fear. It made me feel invincible
Mm-hmm.
and also very carefree. I didn't really care what happened as long as I could feel that feeling. And like it started from just like, I'd get to school and, you know, take a couple and, maybe do that once or twice a week and then 3 or 4 times a week, take a week off, and then it's like, okay, now I'm starting to, I want these as much as I can. How, if I can get, if they're available, I want them. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get them. I need them. And it kind of just took off from there. Um, and my mom, she always kind of like, when she found out that I was smoking weed, uh, she always told me, she's like, I don't think you're gonna have very good chances to be a non-addict. I don't think you can just You're not going to be able to, based on my history or her history, my dad's
Mhm.
history, you're not going to, you're not going to have success in just using casually. And I'm just like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I'm just a high school kid. I'm just doing this for fun. This is what you're supposed to do, and that's what it is. And I was at this party one time in high school, or when I was in high school, and it was my senior year. It's like spring, so it's right after spring break. I was just on a trip to Mexico. Me and some of my senior class went to a spring break trip in Mexico where we're drinking from sun up to sundown, just having
Mhm.
a blast. It was actually
Yeah.
a really great time.
Yeah.
One of the best times of my life, if I'm being real. But I had gotten home on that Sunday and I got school the next morning. And I get home, I didn't even unpack the suitcase. I answer my phone, it's my buddies, and they're inviting me to this bonfire, 20 minutes out from where my parents' house is, asking if I want to come party. And I'm like, absolutely, because remember, I do not want this to stop. Let's keep this going. A
Mhm.
normal person would be like, hey, you got school tomorrow. You just partied a whole week from sun up to sundown. I think you should probably go to sleep. Not
Mhm.
me. Let's keep this going, and get in my car, drive out there, do what we do. And I'm about to leave, and this guy comes up to me and he gives me like this peach colored pill, which was like a Xanax. It was Xanax.
Okay.
And I had been drinking for a little bit, obviously out there. And, this was my first time ever taking a Xanax pill. I had taken the pain pills, so I just associated pill. It's got to have a similar effect. I'll take it. And so I pop it in, swallow it.
Mhm.
I start driving home, and I'm getting close to my parents' house. I'm like a mile away, and I found out later that when you mix Xanax and alcohol, there's quite a thing called there's a thing called the multiplier effect, which
Okay.
multiplies, the side effects or the feelings that come with whatever substance. And
Mhm.
so those two together created a real multiplier effect. And so I'm about a mile away from her house or my parents' house, and I start nodding off as I'm driving.
Ooh. Yeah.
Start nodding off as I'm driving. And I catch myself once, I catch myself again, catch myself a third time, and it was like on that last little doze off. I was just out and I'm driving in the vehicle, and next thing I know, I'm waking up, flipping my car is flipping, and I'm woken up like just I'm
Damn.
flipping in a vehicle. Uh, when I fell asleep, it veered off the road and went into a ditch, and then it kind of ramped up and then flipped like 4 or 5 times or however many times.
Mhm.
It landed all in all four wheels. It was like right in front of someone's house. Luckily, it didn't go into their house, but it was like right in front of
Mhm.
their front lawn and this person's
Damn.
house. And so I couldn't believe what just happened. And so I get out the vehicle and I'm running down the road, just sprinting, like just in shock and disbelief, and also
That
just
didn't
awesome.
happen. That didn't happen. That
Yeah.
didn't happen.
And I'm just like, wow. Uh, and as I start running, obviously those people probably called the police,
Mhm.
and cop comes up to me, arrests me, and I'm booked for my first DUI.
Mhm.
And so
Mama
now
was
it's like,
right.
yeah, mama, exactly,
Mama was
and
right.
yeah. And so now I'm like, just got back from a week-long vacation, partying again, just flipped my car. I got like a month left of school before I graduate, and now I got a DUI, and now I'm getting involved in trouble with the law. I'm taking pills. It's no longer just smoking weed. Yeah, Mama was right. There's probably something to what she said. So I get bailed out of jail, obviously.
Mhm.
You know, and I get back, and that's exactly what my mom said to me. You know, I told you you're not going to be able to do this successfully.
Mhm.
And again, I just brushed it off like you don't know what you're talking about. If I wouldn't have taken that pill, this would have never happened.
Mhm.
So again, I'm already trying to deflect and find ways and disprove what she said, even though the evidence was
Mama
was
was
clearly
right.
there. Yeah. Yeah. And so now I have charges hanging over my head. I'm about to graduate. I wasn't not a not smart person. I'm pretty smart. I'm consider myself a fairly intellectual type person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I was in high school, my priority was not trying to get all A's. It became partying and having a good time, and that was it. And so my outlook on the future was everyone else is going to, nice 4-year universities, or maybe they're going to join their family's business or go to the military or whatever. I didn't really have that outlook. I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably going to go to a community college, and, I'm just going to wing it, and I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing here. And that's just, I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, coupled with uncertainty of the future, legal problems, uh, a pending addiction problem in the back of my mind, but also not trying to recognize it or take note of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Plus all the feelings I've had since a kid of angst and worry and fear and anxiety and sadness, and it was just like a perfect storm. And so I was again taking those pills as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I graduate high school, and everyone kind of goes off and does their own thing. And this was around 2009. And at that time period, that's really kind of when like the pill mill epidemic had first started to take place from like Florida and the Midwest. Uh, that was kind of, and then it spread out to the East Coast around like 2007, 2008, 2009. Is
Mm-hmm.
when that epidemic really started to take hold. And so it really started to hit my hometown and my city. And so I graduate. I no longer have the connection to the person that had the pills because I don't know where they went. People just, they went their own way.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have a buddy who came up to me and said, "Hey, remember those pills we used to take?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." He's like, "Well, if you give me $20, I'm going to get you something that is far greater than any of those pills we'd ever taken. And
Uh-oh.
it's going to change your life." I said, "Okay. As long as it's something like that, then I'll take it. I'm all in. Here's 20 bucks. Let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
He comes back in like 30 minutes with like this perfectly little wrapped, manufactured little piece of foil. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" Uh, he's like, "It's heroin."
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
Damn.
"Okay." I wasn't expecting that. My dad, he had actually died in 2001. That was his drug of choice, was heroin.
Oh, damn.
And
Sorry
so
to
I'd
hear, brother.
never, yeah, and I had never thought that I would end up following in his footsteps like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to get rid of these feelings. I'm not liking my current situation. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't understand the world. I just spent 20 bucks. This is going to change my life. It's something like the pills, association. I'll
Mm-hmm.
take it. I did it. I snorted it. And that person was right. It ended up changing my life in ways that I could have never ever foreseen or thought possible.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Okay.
Not in a good way.
So, like, I got a question.
Yeah,
Is there a different high between snorting and shooting it?
essentially, yes. I mean, it's kind of all,
Like, does it all give you the same feeling of it?
yeah. So the end result is still the same. It's just like a lot of people will graduate to injecting it because
Okay.
snorting it, that route of ingestion no longer kind of produces a similar effect,
Okay.
or the the desired effect.
Okay.
And so injecting it, I mean, that sends it straight into your brain.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and so people associate that as a rush. They call it a rush
Okay.
because it travels through your veins so quickly and it goes into straight to your brain. And
Okay.
yeah,
So it
so
just gets there faster.
it just gets there faster, which then produces a rush. which is
Okay.
then where people really start to chase and crave that substance because they want to feel that first high, that first rush that they got.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay. So you're this is I'm guessing you're like 18, 19 at this point?
yeah, yeah, 18, 19.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like 2 months graduated from high school.
Okay. So what what are you thinking your options are? Like, is it just so I know you said before that it's just like I'm going to stay here and continue to do this, but like, was there any ambition to go to? I know you said the military or a community college. Did it hit at all at some certain point within those 2 months, or is just like was it still I'm staying right here?
Well, so yeah, I did end up going to a community college.
Okay,
So I ended up
okay,
enrolling into that, and I ended up getting put on probation for a year for the DUI
okay,
from the accident uh, that happened that April.
okay.
Uh, but it was still like those feelings of like, I don't know what's next. I don't know what's going to happen, and I just kind of want to escape and not feel this.
Mm-hmm.
So I did go to community college, and I started it that fall, fall of
Mm-hmm.
2009,
Okay.
and I was just doing the heroin. I was just snorting it maybe two or
Okay.
three times a week,
Okay.
so there wasn't like a full-on dependence that had been there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And my first semester was great. I was A's and B's. I never even got that in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little job at a little farmer's market, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, so there's some progress there. There's some things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I was just really upset at the fact that I was on probation and I couldn't smoke weed because I run the risk of getting drug tested. And marijuana, unfortunately, stays in your system for
I know,
30
right? It's
days.
the age-old argument, man. I've had this argument with countless people. So it's like it stays in your system. So it's like, but that means I can do cocaine in a weekend. It'll be out of my system Monday. Like where are we drawing lines here? I'm sorry. I just had to
Yeah, yeah,
throw.
no,
Go ahead.
and that was exactly my mindset. It was like,
Yeah. Like
because I got to do something.
yeah.
I can't do this life sober. That's just
Mm-hmm.
not going to be possible. I'm not really a big drinker at this point, so alcohol is just not there. Plus, I'm not even of age to buy it, and that's just a whole hassle and process to get it,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. Heroin was more easier to get than alcohol, but
That's wild to me. Like
yeah.
that's wild.
And so I complete my first semester, but it was about halfway through that first semester is where it's like the usage of heroin really started to kick up. And so it's like 2 to 3 times, um, 3 to 4 times. I can't go to work without it. I'm in class and I'm snorting lines in class just to be defiant, just to get some
Wait a minute.
extra.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're sitting there, teachers writing on the blackboard. You're just jolting lines.
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah,
dude. That's ballsy.
yeah.
That's ballsy.
And I felt like this power when I ingested it. It's just like this power that was like it just numbed me. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all I ever really wanted was to be numbed. I just didn't want to feel. I didn't want to live life on life's terms. I just wanted to escape, but I didn't want to like die.
Mm-hmm.
I just I just wanted to feel good, but I also
Mm-hmm.
wanted to escape the reality of my situation that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of made me okay with that. It made me okay with that. And I would do the substance and I would always tell myself like, I'm just as soon as probation's done, I won't be doing this anymore. I'll get back to the weed and that's it. Um, and then the next semester rolled around and that's when like you could say I was a full-blown heroin addict. Because now the snorting has switched to injecting it, and so now I'm injecting it, and so
Okay.
now 3 to 4 times, 4 to 5. Now it's like I need this every day.
Mm-hmm.
I need this every day. And I started feeling withdrawal effects for the first time.
Oh,
And that was like,
I hear those are terrible.
it was terrible. And I was like, the first time I felt it, I was like, man, why am I feeling like this? And I'm like Googling like my symptoms, and it's like, oh, I, I'm having this is withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way I could escape it was to do and get more.
Yeah, yeah, Chase. Yeah.
And so not only was I trying to escape my current situations in reality, now I'm having to compete with making sure I'm not being sick. And so this is where like the usage and addiction behavior really starts to kick up because now I have to do whatever I got to do to get it. And so I start stealing from family. I'm stealing money, items. I'm pawning off anything I got. PS2 at the time, Xbox 360 pawned. If it's got value, it's getting pawned,
Mm-hmm.
or traded or sold. You know, however I could find ways to get $20 to $40, a day was what I was going to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my job. And so, second semester starts, I there was no going to class. I didn't have time for that, and so pretty much failed out of that semester, and so that thing was done. And it was okay with me because, like I said, I have a job now, and that's to do and get more drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and that has became my life, and it just continued to build and grow and develop from there.
So how long did this go on for?
So 13 years,
That damn. That's a long run.
yeah,
So 13 years goes by, um, and then what was that one moment where it's just like, I'm done?
yeah. Well, I thought I had that moment in 2018,
Okay.
and this wasn't like a full-on surrender moment. That comes afterwards, in which we'll talk about that. But like I had a
Okay.
moment where it was like I was done, and this was like 2018, like April 2018. I had experienced homelessness by this point in Michigan
Mm-hmm.
during the winter.
Oh God. Oh.
Awful.
Oh.
I'm in like homeless shelters, having to wait in line at 6 p.m. and they're
Damn,
kicking
dude.
me out at 5 a.m. and it's negative 15 degrees outside,
Oh.
and you got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I'm 20 years old. That shouldn't have been my reality.
Mm-hmm.
Parents only could put up with so much,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't want to be around that. And plus, now I'm stealing. They couldn't have that. I was a liability and a risk to have in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we moved to Austin, Texas in 2013, continued doing
Okay.
it. I was homeless in Austin a couple times,
Better
got linked up
climate.
with, yeah,
Better climate.
but also being I don't know what's worse, being homeless in the winter in Michigan or being homeless in the summer in Austin, Texas. So,
That is a that is a bad choice to have.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take the heat. Uh,
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the cold weather at all.
Neither am I. Uh, At least I can like kind of like find places to hide at to
Yeah.
get to get, colder,
Yeah.
you know, and and I just continued and just soured relationships and toxic relationships. It was just a whole gamut of things that went on. But it was like 2018 where I kind of reached a point where it was like, all right, I'm kind of getting burnt out on this. I kind of want to, try something new, and I think maybe this has run its course, because I don't know if I can continue going on like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2018, I get on this medication that'll kind of, there's two medications, methadone and Suboxone.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. Yeah. Suboxone.
And so I got on methadone. I had been on Suboxone previous, but I never actually ever took it unless it was like, like an off day.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any money. Healer wasn't answering. All right, I guess I'll have to take this so I don't get sick.
Okay.
But I got on this actual program to get on methadone in 2018. So I got on that methadone program, and I quit doing heroin.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't stop smoking weed. I didn't stop drinking alcohol. But my mom gave me another chance to come back to live with her
Mm-hmm.
since I got on this program. Um, and I could, I was able to kind of like restart my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to. Got a good job. I started working for this great company. Um, got some income coming in. I'm not using heroin. Alcohol and weed aren't really creating too much of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I start focusing on my music career again around this time, and I start kind of building my brand up and working towards that, and started making some progress and gains in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Opened up for some bigger name Texas artists. Got a distribution deal with a small record label in Austin that put out my first album.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of progress and highlights that I could attribute to, okay, things aren't so bad. Yeah, I'm not 100% sober, but there's some stability, there's some progress, and some things are happening. And I feel good
Mm-hmm.
about it. I feel
Mm-hmm.
good about it. And so I do that, and that lasted until about 2019, and then like I'm now drinking a little bit more heavier. I'm increasing my dosage on the methadone a little bit more and more each month. Um, I'm doing ecstasy. Um,
Damn, ecstasy.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing other substances. Because I never really like, even though I wasn't doing the heroin, I still never like solved that root core problem that was the driving factor and reasoning behind why I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just began to manifest in other substances. And but it still wasn't like having too much of an issue or problem in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then like COVID happened. And once COVID happened, like I felt like that those feelings of like fear and anxiety and worry just like really resurfaced like no other.
Mm-hmm.
The world shut down, the music stopped, lost my job.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact of COVID itself was just a pretty scary and crazy time to be alive.
Wasn't it though? Wild
Unreal,
time. I,
unreal.
wild time. I went little. I know everybody's gonna get mad. Like, shut up, James. But like, I went to the grocery store the first like week it was there. Panic, panic, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on around here? It was wild. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, it was crazy. Um, and I'm like watching the news. I'm like watching CNN or whatever, and I'm just like looking at like empty mega cities that are empty with no people on it, and like
Mm-hmm.
death tolls and tickers and hospital tickers, and it's like jumping every 10,000 every minute. I'm just like, wow, the world's coming to an end. And everything that I just worked and built, I just watched it vanish in the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in staying sober. I said,
Yeah.
screw taking. I said, screw taking the medication. We're going all in because,
Knock knock. Here comes heroin.
and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't do well, like I said, with fear and uncertainty. And so when those things are up in my face and I don't have a real solution to combat that, for me, my real solution was heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was back on it. Started trading and selling my methadone to get that, and it was back in full force. And I'm doing heroin, I'm doing meth, I'm drinking excessively. I'm trying to drown and escape as much as I can. And I went on I went on a real run, and it was around like 2022, where like my heroin supply started turning into fentanyl. And so
Ye-
with that,
Yeah.
yeah, with that, I was like, okay, so now I'm doing fentanyl every day, and I'm doing that. I'm also like going to sober living. I'm like living in sober living. I'm virtually homeless, but I'm like kind of like rotating out of sober living houses, halfway houses, and sober
Mm-hmm.
living homes, every couple weeks. And so from like 2021 to 2022, I was in 15 different sober living or halfway houses.
So
Um,
mom said I can't deal with this again. See you
oh yeah,
later.
yeah.
Okay.
There was no.
Okay.
Yes, she had dealt with it for 12 years at this point. She had tried and did everything she could. And at some point, she had to protect her own peace, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of my life. Stay at a sober house, get kicked out, stay on the streets for a couple of days, hustle up some money, get a motel, rinse and repeat. That
Mm-hmm.
was my cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm doing fentanyl, which is much more dangerous and much more risk. And it just got to a point after about 10 months of doing that. I'm like, I'm getting tired of uh, having to pack up my stuff and get kicked out because, I got caught using or I failed a drug test. And so I'm getting kicked out of the sober living house, walking down
Mm-hmm.
the street with like two bags of clothes and nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just living like a scumbag. I'm
Mm-hmm.
robbing from stores, I'm robbing from people. However I got to get money, I'm going to do it. And I don't know, I was sitting down one day and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This is October 2022, towards the end of October 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So by now the world is kind of leveled out and resumed to some normalcy. Um, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to get sober.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to get sober. I need to do this for real. And so I did it. After I got into a different sober living and I was dead set on getting sober. And I'm at this new house and a week goes by and I had this thought and this feeling come over me where it was just like, you know what? I kind of want to do it one more time and and I'll be done with it. I'm just gonna do it one more time and we'll call it good. I just need to feel it one more time and we'll
Mm-hmm.
be good. So I call my guy, I go and pick it up. I go back to the sober living. It's about 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
I go in the bathroom, I do it, and the next thing I know, I'm being awakened with a room full of paramedics and
You OD'd?
OD.
Damn, dude. It's that one time too.
Yeah.
That one time where
And
you're like, man, I just one more time, and that's the one to get you. Like
yeah.
that's wild.
And so like my body's like they Narcan me, so like my body's shaking and I'm like so disoriented and like not exactly sure what's going on or what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, like I shouldn't have been doing that in a sober living. I shouldn't have been doing that period, but especially not in a sober living. But you know, thank God someone had to use the bathroom when they did because
Yeah.
they would have never probably
Yeah.
found me until the morning and it would have been too late.
Yeah.
So I'm kicked out of that sober living now, honestly, obviously. Um, and so like now I'm scrambling to find another place to go to. Luckily,
Mm-hmm.
the area I was in has quite a few sober livings. Some
Mm-hmm.
not always, some not as good as others. So I was able to get into this other one that's kind of like a one of the not good ones. And I was able to get in there
Mm-hmm.
and I get settled in. And then after a couple, about 3 or 4 days go by, I get that thought and that feeling again. Like, man, I don't know. I don't know what happened just now or just the other day. Uh, but that wasn't how that was supposed to go. I just wanted to get it one more time. I wanted to get high one more time.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, and we'll be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go try this again. Let me go meet my guy. Let me go pick it up. And so I go and get it. I meet him and I get it again. I go to this gas station bathroom and I do it again and the same result. I'm woken up by paramedics at this gas station
Mm-hmm.
getting
Damn.
Narcaned again and I just OD'd again and
Damn.
I had like threw up in my lungs the second time. So I had like vomit in my lungs.
You can do that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That wouldn't make okay. Yeah.
and because I don't know if it happened because I overdosed or because they, you know, gave me Narcan, which made me throw up. I wasn't sure. I was unconscious. Nonetheless, at some point during that process, I threw up and I wasn't conscious enough to, I guess, swallow it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Damn,
I,
dude.
inj- I inhaled it into my lungs. And I'm in the hospital for like a day, uh, and I get out. I go back to that sober living house I was at. They asked me what was going on. I said, "Hey, I was in the hospital. I'm sorry. I had hospital paperwork. All good." So I didn't get kicked out there. And I was like, "Okay, I'm good then." And so I was like, "Man, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on." Two times. I've never overdosed in my whole. Prior to those two times, I'd never overdosed once.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go back. I'm at the sober house again. A few days had passed by again, and I'm sitting on my bed, scrolling on my phone, and I don't know. I saw the Lyft app, and that like sent a trigger in my brain. It was like, you know what? I can go get a Lyft right now and go back to my guy, and we can go get it again because I don't know what happened those other two times, but surely these are just accidents or flukes or I don't know what's going on, but like it wasn't supposed to go like that. So I order the Lyft, I go and get it, I come back to the same sober house, I pick it up, I use it in the bathroom again, and same result. I overdosed again.
Three ODs?
Yeah, and
Damn. Like the
in about a
stove is
10,
hot.
yeah, three ODs in about a 9-day period.
Damn.
And so once again, I get kicked out of that sober living. Yeah,
Damn.
so I'm kicked out of another sober living. I go to another one right around the corner. I get settled in there. I got just a backpack at this time. So I got a backpack with three pairs of clothes and um, just a guy just trying to get high one more time and I'll let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get settled in there. A couple days have passed again, and I had this genius idea. I had this crazy thought that I could somehow use one more time and not overdose.
Brother, you're going for a fourth?
Yeah.
Man, okay.
And my genius idea is that I was going to snort it instead of
Okay.
shooting it.
Okay.
And for some reason, my rationale behind that was like, surely there would be a less chance of me overdosing by snorting it if I just instead of injecting.
Okay.
So I go meet my guy again, s- snort it instead of shooting it, and I overdosed again.
Okay. Number four.
Number four,
Okay.
I'm like, man, I don't know
Damn.
what's going on.
Damn.
I don't, I
Like,
don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is crazy. I just want to get high one more time and then like I'll be done with it. Just I promise. And so once again, I had another genius idea. All
Can't
right,
wait to hear it.
I'm just gonna snort just the smallest line possible.
So we're testing the waters instead of jumping in.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Because I think what had happened is that, I took that little week break from using,
Okay.
and that must have like really lowered my tolerance. So then I jumped back trying to inject it, and you know, the 3 times didn't work. So uh,
Okay.
the fourth time, I was like, you know what? By now, surely, my tolerance has kind of returned, probably, even though I overdosed 4 times. Um, but what is ease our way back into it?
Okay.
And so I call my guy. I meet him at a McDonald's.
Is this the same guy 4 times?
Uh, every time but one.
Okay, because this is gonna be like, yeah, he's really going for it. Fourth
Yeah.
time. Damn.
And of course, I didn't tell the guy that I overdosed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I'm sure he would probably have cut me off if that was the case.
Yeah.
And so I meet him at this McDonald's. I grab it. I go into the bathroom at the McDonald's. It's like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, close to closing time. And I snort just the smallest line possible.
Okay.
And I must have overdosed quicker off that small line than probably any of the other times.
What
Yeah,
is? Damn. That's just potent at that point.
yeah.
Potency.
And
Okay. So 4 times. So this will be the fourth,
fifth time.
fifth time. Okay. Okay.
Fifth time in about 2 weeks.
God,
And
that's you're putting up some numbers.
yeah. And luckily it was about closing time because the cleaning lady was the one who had found me. One of the workers there, she called the EMT. The EMT was the same EMT from the other overdoses. So
Hmm.
this is all happening in the same area, generally around the same time too. And so same EMT, and Narcan me twice. I got vomit in my lungs again on the fifth one, same time as I did on the second one. I threw up in my lungs again. And I just remember when the EMT was carrying me out on the stretcher into the ambulance. He just looked at me and goes, "Dude, your body was as white as a ghost." And he just said, "When are you gonna get there?"
Like nature's trying to tell you you should probably quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm in the hospital for like, I don't know, 2 days, about 2 days. And it was in there that like I had my like first real true surrender moment
Mm-hmm.
of this is actually a life or death situation,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and death is looking real possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there probably isn't going to be a fifth. There probably isn't going to be a sixth time.
Mm-hmm. Damn, dude. Five
Yeah.
times. Was it that EMT that was like, when you getting this? Was it was that a big help too? To say, hey, okay, maybe I should stop. Or not maybe, I'm gonna.
There have been nuggets throughout my whole, since 2009 to that point, there have been so many little seeds and nuggets planted from like various AA meetings I had attended or treatment centers where I got, you know, people in their 50s and I'm 20 years old in a rehab, and I got them telling me, "Hey, don't be my age in here."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my way to being that age in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 33 years old, 32 years old at this time. And it was like right there while I'm laying in the hospital. I was like, I made a real decision. I was like, you know what? I want to live today.
Mhm.
Like the evidence is on the wall. I'm gonna die, and I don't want to die a friggin' junkie.
Mhm.
And after I was discharged from the hospital, I really had nowhere to go. I kind of exhausted all my opportunities,
Mhm.
and I had just enough money to get a cheap motel for about 5 days because I knew I was gonna have to withdraw and detox somewhere. I couldn't do that on the street.
Mhm.
I needed somewhere to at least just lay down and sleep. And
Mhm.
so I got a hotel room for about about 4 nights, 5 days, and I detoxed off fentanyl.
Mhm.
The worst pain, agony I'd ever experienced or felt in my life
Mhm.
in that motel room. And this was not a good motel room. This is a motel where you go to use drugs, not get off of drugs.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking, they had 1990s style TV in there. You know, it's like, this isn't a quality place. Um, but I laid in that bed and I tossed and turned and I fought and ripped my skin off and ripped clothes, sheets off and clothes off and pleaded and begged to God, just, if I can just make it through this, then I will be, then I'm going to do something different. And I just kept telling myself that like, I want something different. I want to be something. I don't want to do that anymore. And I just kept repeating that saying in my head over and over.
Mhm.
And I fought and
Mhm.
got through that withdrawal and I left that motel and with, feeling still kind of crummy,
Mhm.
but better than I was, and with no place to go. And I made a call to a guy that runs some sober livings, and I'd already been to his house a couple times. And I call him up and I just say, hey, I need one last shot. I just need one more chance, and I need somewhere to go.
Mhm.
And he asked me how long I had been sober, and I had to lie to him because if I would have told him I'm like coming off 5 ODs in a 2 week period,
He'd be
I
like,
didn't know if I
nah.
didn't know if he would accept me or not. So I was
Yeah.
like, I couldn't take that risk.
Mhm.
So I told him I had like, I don't know, 45, 60 days and life is good.
Like,
But he says, so come on in. He's like, I actually just opened up a new house and you can be one of the first, few of the core members.
okay.
Uh, and so I got there and I had a backpack with literally 3 outfits in it, a phone charger, and I went in that house as a man ready to change his life and willing to do whatever it takes to do that.
Mhm.
And I got in there and so I I passed the initial UA to get in there, which was a very scary thing because I was like right on the line of
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You're eating 40, 60 days clean. Yeah. You're like a week.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I was like right on that line, like, and somehow like I passed it with like just the faintest line um,
Oh, damn.
of a negative result. And so once I got that confirmation, I knew that this was like God working in my life.
Mhm.
And I started building my life up from there. And I just kind of really embraced principles of like patience and just trust and gratitude and like a real a real hunger for wanting something different, wanting something better than the life I had been living for the last 13 years. And I didn't
Mhm.
care what happened or what would come my way.
That fear of uncertainty and went out the window.
It did. And I
Yeah.
just, for once in my life, I was fearless.
Mhm.
And I started setting small goals and medium goals. And I got 30 days sober, and I got 60 days sober, and then I got 90 days sober. And then it was around like that 90-day point that I really started to like find my voice and like have a real idea of what I really could be. And so then I started setting long-term goals, like I want to rebrand my music career. Uh, I want to make like recovery-based hip hop. I want to, I want to manage a sober living one day. I want to be able to give back. I want to start a podcast. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do all these things. I worked and I worked and all of those things came true.
Congratulations, brother.
All of those things
Congratulations.
came true. You know, now I stand here with 3 years of sobriety,
Congrats, dude.
which
Congrats.
would never be possible. That
Mm-hmm.
was never a thought that that could be my reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've kind of like built kind of like I got some, I've been fortunate to get some kind of a platform. And I've, you know, do my best to be like a community leader and community advocate for people like really trying to change their life,
Mm-hmm.
no matter the circumstance, whether it's addiction or trauma or mental health or that's become my passion and my purpose is to be of service to carry a message to help those that maybe might not have had the chance to hear it or
Mm-hmm.
maybe need to hear it again or someone to really believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just that's been my goal and my whole direction and driving force is just to like really be there and be useful to the world that I had for years taken and caused so much turmoil to.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome that you were able to turn that around. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And for me, just here listening to it, it's like you started this. So you started using heroin at like 20, and then you went on a 13-year stint with it.
yeah,
So you're 33, 34 now,
yeah, 34, yeah,
and that's still young to turn life around. You know what I mean? Like that's what I got from your story. Like you're still young enough to turn this around. You know what I mean? And honestly, any age you're still young enough to turn around. As long as you're still breathing and kicking,
that's
you
right,
can turn it around.
that's right.
So, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome to see that through great tragedy comes great accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like God uses the worst mess on the planet to have the best message available. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's where that's that's how I
yeah,
feel. That's what I think.
yeah, absolutely. And like I also want to highlight on like uh the power of my higher power and God too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type of person that goes around necessarily preaching it, but like I do want to highlight like none of this would be possible without God.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's been periods in my life where I've fought that concept. I've failed to give him credit. I've failed to honor him. Uh, and like my faith has really kind of taken a strengthening, especially like this past year. I've really strengthened and grew in my spiritual and faith aspect. Um,
Dude,
that's been
trials
a
and
component.
tribulations
Yeah,
will make your strength or faith strong.
yeah,
They really will. It shows
yeah,
you just how strong it can be. Because it's easy to go like, faith, what are you talking about? Or it's it's faith in knowing that He's going to get you through this.
yeah,
So that's that's where I go to. Like I've had a couple trials and tribulations in the past couple years, and I have really strengthened my faith in God. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, trials and tribulations will do that. So.
absolutely. And like everything in this world, like happens for us. You know, it happens for us to grow if so long as
Mm-hmm.
we find that growth and seek that growth out of that discomfort. And the end result I found is like it's either going to bring you closer to God or further away from God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's
Dude,
up
I
to
was
us, which, yeah,
I was in a gas station one day, and I was going through it one day, and one guy, some unsuspecting guy, I never would have thought he would say this. He's like, every time something happens, just believe it's from God, and it's either a blessing or a lesson. And that's stuck with me for 6 years now. So I mean, like, it's You never would expect it. But I mean, it's true. Blessing or a lesson.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. Jay, where can we find you at, man?
Yeah. So I'm all over the socials. I tend to be a little bit more active on Facebook, but I'm trying to
Hmm.
grow the IG page a little bit more. But I'm on Facebook at Jacob Klein,
Okay.
Kline.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram at officialjkline. And
Okay.
then the music, you can find the music on any streaming platform or social media platform, J-Kline, J
Okay.
Klein.
Okay.
I just music is just a vehicle. Um,
Hmm.
like I said, to further carry the message of experience, strength, and hope, and kind of find that in song form.
Hmm.
So that's what I aim to provide. And you know, my DMs are always open. I always respond to people. I love community. I love people, and I love being able to see people turn their stories into redemption.
Okay. Nice, dude. Nice. Nice.
So I love to hear it, man.
And I want to thank you for coming on again, dude. I really do.
Yeah,
This is a really good episode. It was a fascinating story I got to listen to today. So
yeah, yeah.
hopefully
There's a lot in between
we
those
we can
13
go.
years,
You
but
can come back on,
yeah,
and
there's a
I
lot
kind of want to hear some like really. I don't want to say good stories, but I kind of want to hear the juicy ones.
for sure.
You
Oh,
know what I mean?
there's quite a few.
Okay, okay.
There's quite a few.
We will set this back up again because I want to hear some juicy ones.
Yeah,
I
because
want to hear
we could
some
go
juicy
we
ones.
could go for about 3 or 4 hours. So
Okay, okay. I'll get you back on
yeah,
here.
okay,
I'll get you back on here.
all right.
But I want to thank everybody for joining me for another lovely episode of The Mind of James. Um, just treat yourselves good, fear God, keep His commandments, and I will see you on the next one.
Thank y'all.